So again, tonight we're going to let me make a change to the slides here. Tonight, what we're basically going to cover is we call it the retail to recruit system. I think you're going to see the value. I believe that every time you make a product sale, your goal should be to create 4 more customers and at least 1 new team member from every product sale. That's the goal, and we're going to talk about that. It really is a continuation of the how to launch your TLC business, and we talked about that the last webinar. When you first come into the program, when you have people join your team, how do you help people get their business launched? Because that's that's very, very important in the beginning to get it off the ground. We talked about it's like an airplane. The hardest part, and when an airplane uses the most fuel is going to be when it takes off the ground, and you have to really put all the energy you can behind your business in the beginning to plant as many seeds as you possibly can and launch that business off the ground. So hopefully you've already seen that webinar. I'm sure most of you have. It is, here's the URL down here, momhelp.com/TLC. If you haven't seen that, the replay is available for you. But all right, now you've got your business launched, you've got some customers, you've got some people, some referrals that you want to follow up with. What's the process from that point on? After you get your business launched, what's the next logical step in the process of building your business? So that's really what we're going to get into a little bit of detail tonight. We will have the scripts available. Don't try to memorize everything I'm going to share with you tonight. I just want you to get the basic concept, the idea, and as we talked about previously, repetition is the mother of learning. There's nothing I'm going to share with you tonight. There's nothing that you're ever going to have to learn in this business that you cannot master. I want to say that again because I think that's really important, that you understand that from the beginning. There's not one thing that you have to do in this business model and as you build your TLC business that you cannot personally master. That's what makes this business model so awesome, is the fact that anybody with the desire and the determination to, I'm going to learn it, I'm going to master it, I'm going to become a professional at this business model, not only me doing it personally, but teaching other people to do it. If you make that decision, there's not one person listening to me. If you had the ability to get on this webinar tonight, then you have the ability to do everything that you need to do to go as far as you want to go with the TLC opportunity. So again, we talked about there's 4 basic aspects to this business. You launch it, you master retailing to recruit, you master what I call a customer acquisition system that's based upon a referral system, you master a 2-step recruiting process, and you just go through the numbers, guys. That's all there is to this. There's not one person listening to me that cannot do it. Real businesses always have customers. And many of your best leaders on your team down the road are going to be satisfied, awesome customers first. And when people get sold on the TLC product line, which is pretty easy for people to do, as you guys know, and they love the product, then Dynamite's not going to get them out of the business once they see the opportunity. So as we've talked about in the previous video, step 1 is until you know why, the how doesn't matter. You have to know why. Step 2 is to launch your business. Step 3, master a customer acquisition and a referral system. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I really believe that your why determines whether you can create enough energy to get past your fears, to get past your time management, and to get excited enough to decide, you know what, I'm staying on this road. I'm on the road. I'm going to stay on the road. I can do it. Other people have done it, and I'm going to master it, and getting enough energy to get yourself into action. And that's really what it's about. Once you get into action, the game plan is here for you. What's not here will be here. Uh, the corporate office is committed to that for you guys. So I believe if you look at business in general, not just network marketing, but business in general, there's a trend right now, and it's going to continue for individuals to try to develop a better relationship with their customers. And I think you're seeing businesses that understand there's a difference between selling products and creating a customer base. Let me say that again. There's a difference between selling products and creating a customer base. Real business create customers. Referrals are going to become more and more important. That's the foundation of a successful customer acquisition program. You see that a lot now through social media when people are talking positively about the TLC product line, and people say, what is that? I've never tried that. How do I get that? It's just the nature of business in today's world. The importance of referrals is going to be big news over the next few years. And creating customers and showing appreciation for those customers and treating those customers like the valuable asset that they are. And we're going to talk about tonight about a follow-up system, 3-day, 14, 29, 59-day follow-up system. Again, I'm going to give you the overview tonight. We'll have the scripts available for you as soon as possible. But tonight, I just want you to kind of feel the flow of what we're talking about. As I mentioned earlier, every sale, the goal. Now, it's not going to happen this way every time. It absolutely will not. But what we try to communicate, what we try to teach is giving you the best odds for success over the long haul. Over the long haul. For people that really want to build a business, what's going to increase your odds of success over the long haul. And the goal is every sale that you make, your ultimate goal is to create 4 more customers and 1 new team builder. And I'm going to share with you the flow, the process behind that tonight. And again, don't let it overwhelm you. Repetition is the key to learning. There's not one person listening to me tonight that cannot, if you choose to learn what I'm sharing with you tonight through repetition, you absolutely positively can. It's proven. It's the foundational systems that many of the top leaders in many organizations are using. It works. It makes sense. It gives you a track to run on, and it puts you in a create customer mentality and not just a make sale mentality. You have to create the sale before you can create the customer, but businesses are built based upon developing long-term, lifetime customers. And you do that, I believe, in the beginning. It's not just the quality of product. All of us have used quality products in the past that we never reordered. Think about it. All of us have used quality products. I mean, if I sit here and thought about it long enough, I can make a list of 10 products that I would like to get my hands on again that I probably could, but I never did or never have. Uh, and normally it's because lack of follow-up. It's because I never brought that product into my daily routine. I hope this is making sense, guys, because I believe that if you do your job right in the beginning, that you can create long-term customers, and that's, again, it's the name of the game. If people don't take the product consistently, they're not going to get results. Okay, people can't pull out the tea package and look at it and detoxify their system. They just can't. They have to drink it. You know that, I know that, it makes logical sense. But we also know that everybody, all of us, we're creatures of habit, and creating that new habit takes. We need reminders sometimes. I mean, I've been taking the tea for years, but I drink it every single night before I go to bed. That's what I do. Every night before I go to bed, last thing I do, drink my tea. And I do it, I have done it for years. And again, with some of the other products, the same as well. I've tried almost every product, probably every product TLC has. I think I have, and I take a lot and use a lot of them, but I haven't missed the tea because I like it, I believe in it, and I've got in the habit of taking it every single night. So that's what you want. That's how you create customers, is when the products become part of their routine. And we can create that if that is our focus, if that is our goal. If our goal is to create customers, then we can think about that. If it's just to make sales, we probably won't think about that. So I believe you have to take this personally. I really do. I think it has, when I sell that product, it's like I'm going to do the very best I can to convert that person into a long-term customer. And I believe what you do in the beginning, after you make that sale, determines increases your odds of success of being able to create long-term customers. And some people would absolutely join the business just because they love the products. We've heard this many times in our life, because truth is truth, wisdom of the ages is wisdom of the ages, and that is follow up is more important than the initial sale. Now, let me say that again. Following up with your customers is more important than the initial sale. Weight loss is one of the easiest products to take to the marketplace because there's such a huge market. Weight loss is awesome. You're going to see the popularity of more and more products in the TLC line as well. In the future, if people like the initial product, then the easiest people to get to try other products are people that are satisfied with existing products. And take your skincare customers, let them try the tea, vice versa. But again, it all comes from the mentality of building customers. Understand who a customer really is. If they buy from you one time, they're not a customer. They are not a customer. They're a suspect. They're a suspect. That means they might become a customer. If they buy from you twice, they're a prospect. They're a really good prospect, but they're still a prospect. Until a person buys from you 3 times, we should not call them customers. Because reality is a lot of us buy one product one time and we never buy it again, usually because we're never followed up with, or whatever. We don't get a result because we don't take it consistently. It's not part of our routines. So it's our responsibility, as if we're building a business, to do the very best we can, again, to create customers for that business. They buy twice, they're great prospects. If they buy 3 times, they're a customer. One of the biggest mistakes all businesses make, all businesses, not just in this profession. I don't care if you're talking about dry cleaning, carpet cleaning, you name it, it doesn't matter. Go down through your strip mall in your local community, look at every business there. The number one businesses, one of the biggest mistakes businesses make is they're trying to create new sales all the time instead of developing long-term, lifetime customers with those people that have already bought from them. I cannot say that enough. I cannot say how having this mentality, this shift, this focus, and really wrapping your mind around this, really wrapping your brain around this, will make a difference. Some of you I know tonight listening in, you have traditional businesses. This mentality will help you in your traditional business. It will help you in any business you're involved with. It will absolutely positively help you build your TLC organization. Imagine if you have an organization of 10, 100, 1,000 people on your team or more, and they're all focused on building real customers instead of just making sales. So I believe this this concept is even harder in when you're marketing a weight loss product, because in general weight loss is an easier sale than other product categories. So when it's easy to sell, it's easy to think that we have customers because we're making sales. And I hope I'm making sense. I'm not trying to beat this horse to death, but I am really trying to drive this point home, guys, because it's important. So, how do we create customers? It's a system that we've taught for many, many years. It's 3-day, 14, 29-day follow-up system. This can be done through email. I prefer that it be done through the phone. I believe as your business grows, obviously time is the most valuable asset that any of us have. I believe that down the road, as your business gets bigger and bigger and you create more and more customers, that you don't have to be there doing what I'm going to share with you. Ideally, down the road, you could have an assistant that makes these follow-ups for you. And some of you listen to me tonight, it would be very valuable. You have the resources, you have the profit in your business, where it would be worth it. And I've worked with people in the past that get to a point where this system, after they learn it, they implement it, they actually hire someone to implement this system for them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In the beginning, sometimes we have to put, we have to personally grind a little bit until we can outsource it. So, it's just getting to your business to that point where, you understand the value of creating long-term customers. You understand the value of the system we're getting ready to share with you, but time is very valuable as well. And as your business grows, your responsibilities grow. So I'm not saying that, I am saying look at this from the standpoint that one day you're going to outsource it to somebody else. 3-day, 14, 29-day call. So you've made the sale. How did I make the sale, Dale? Well, there's multiple ways to make the sale. Let's just assume that you sent a brochure to your Aunt Mary, and your Aunt Mary said, hey, my neighbor's getting ready to start on a weight loss system. I think they would have an interest in your product. You called, you contacted the neighbor, you sent them a brochure, said, hey, my Aunt Mary said you would be interested in trying this product. You follow up. This is Dale. I sent you a brochure last week that my Aunt Mary asked me to send to you. I just wanted to check to see if you have any questions before we place your order. Or did you want to put that on Visa or MasterCard? You just assume the sale on the follow-up. And again, I don't want to repeat everything that we talked about in the Launch Your TLC Business webinar. So let's say that gentleman, let's say his name is Franklin, and Franklin gets started on your product. And Franklin should have received his product 3 days ago. So on the third day from the day that he received it, you want to make a quick telephone call to Franklin. And again, guys, you let him know when he places his order, he should receive it in this day. When he gets there, make sure that you weigh, see where you're starting. If you want people to measure, just because as you all know, sometimes people will lose inches, and muscle weighs more than fat. And, there's people that can transform their bodies without losing a lot of weight just because they're building muscle and they're losing fat. And again, I'm not going to get into all the science behind all that. You guys, if you haven't heard it, you will. But I do believe my main point here is you want them to know where they start. You know, the worst thing in the world, are you losing any weight? Well, I think I am. You mean you didn't weigh before you started taking and using the products? Well, no, I didn't. Well, we need to tell them to do that at the time they place their order. Then we want to follow up on the third day. Hey, Franklin, this is Dale. I don't want to take a lot of your time. Just wanted to check with you. Make sure you received your product and that you were able to weigh and measure and see if you have any questions. Real quick. No, I'm taking it. I'm drinking the tea or I'm taking the product. I'm using the product. No questions. Okay. Awesome. I'll check back with you. I'll check back with you here in a couple of weeks, see how you're doing. 14 days from the day that he purchased, I want to check back with Franklin, see how he's doing on the tea. And we're going to use tea as the example tonight. It could be any of the products. But I'm going to check back with Franklin in 14 days because here's what's happened after 14 days. He either can tell a difference, he's getting results, or he's not. Okay? It's one or the other. Now, if he's not, then he's probably going to quit taking, and again, we're using the tea as an example, he's probably going to quit taking it consistently because we live in such an instant society. You know, a lot of people, they drink their first glass of tea, they get on the scales, they drink their first glass of tea, and 5 minutes later they're back on the scale seeing if it's working. Okay, and again, I'm being, a little bit sarcastic here, but we have to understand that's kind of the environment that we're in. So the 14-day is really critical because he's either feeling better, can tell he's taking it, getting results, feels like his body's detoxifying, maybe already lost a few pounds or not. It's one or the other. Okay, so when I call Franklin back up and say, hey, Franklin, this is Dale Calvert. I just wanted to check and see how you're doing on the tea. And I don't say another word. I let him tell me and his response is either going to be, in my mind, positive or negative. And negative is not really negative. We could really call it normal. Okay, but we'll just, for simplification, positive or negative. If it's positive, he said, hey, Dale, yeah, I've been taking it every night. I can tell my body's, I can tell it's cleaning out my system and I'm feeling pretty good. And I think I've even dropped, I haven't been on the scale, but my wife says she looks like I've dropped a few pounds. Okay, that's extremely positive. And when you get extremely positive, say, awesome, Franklin, just keep on taking it. I'll check back with you here in a couple of weeks. And get off the phone. I don't want to waste his time. I appreciate him picking up when I called. I'm just giving him good customer service. I'm just checking in, making sure he's doing good. It's from a customer service mentality. And if he says, Dale, I can't tell the difference. I don't really like the way the stuff tastes. I think I might have mixed it wrong, blah, 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 blah. We don't want to follow up with people because we don't want to deal with normal or negative, however we want to take it. And at that point, you say, hey, Franklin, buddy, just hang in there. Take it every night. Take it every morning, however he's taking it. Stay on it. You're going to tell a difference. You have to encourage. If they're negative, encourage. If they're normal or negative, encourage. Encourage. They need encouragement. Stay with it. Because we all know, scientifically, the product has to work. Scientifically. So, again, people are very emotional, and what happens if he can't tell a immediate result, then he'll quit taking the product every night, every morning, however he's taking it. He's going to quit doing it regularly, and it will never become part of his routine. And if it doesn't become part of his routine, he will never be a customer. So on the 14-day call, hey Franklin, it's Dale Calvert. I just want to check with you, see how you're doing on the tea. It's going to be positive. It's going to be normal. If it's positive, awesome. Keep taking it. Take it every day. I'll check back with you here in a couple of weeks. If it's normal or negative, hey, I got to encourage him. Now, if it is normal or negative, I may, if you have time, and even if you don't have time, it's still a really good idea to have in your email. You guys have a lot of before and after pictures, okay? And I would have a document, maybe a Word document says, and you just say, hey, Franklin, good chat, good talk, good touching base with you today. I just wanted to send you these pictures of people, who hung in there, continue to take the product regularly, got results. I know it's going to help you. I know it's going to work for you. Just keep on taking it consistently. You might want to send an encouragement email if you feel like they need that. And again, if I understand our time's the most valuable asset that we have, but I also understand you've got somebody that took the time to take the product, to spend money for the product, to start on the product, and those people are very valuable. They're not customers, but they can become customers. But sometimes we have to go a little bit above and beyond what we would normally like to do, because we would normally like to go out in the marketplace, sell as much product as we possibly can, and have every one of those people call us back begging us to order more before they run out. That's what we want to happen. Okay, and that will happen sometimes with products. It will, because people will have such a drastic result quick. Okay, but that's not normal. That is not normal. And to think that is normal is naive. Okay, and we want to develop customers. So we want to give the best possible customer service that we can. We want to really care about those people and their results. 29-day call. 29 days, it's time for them to reorder, right? Okay, so here's what we say on 29 days. Hey, Franklin, this is Dale Calvert. According to my records, it's time for you to reorder your tea. How would you like to receive? And we want to offer an incentive on the 29th day. Now, that can be you. It's your business. I would say, how would you like to receive up to $10 off your next purchase? I personally would have no problem with that. But you can have, how would you like to receive? You can have a 10 free tea recipes document. I mean, but you want to offer some kind of incentive. And again, we're going to unify this with TLC. But at this point, I'm just trying to give you the concept behind it, because it could be a recipe book. It could be, and I'll just use $1 off. How would you like to receive up to $10 off your next purchase? We'll just use that for now. I want you to see the flow. And here's what he's going to say 100% of the time. 100% of the time, Franklin will say, how do I do that? Or how do I get $10 off? That is literally the response, even if he's still got a whole half jug in his refrigerator and he's not been taking it regularly, he will still say, how do I do that? It's just a natural human response. You're going to get that 99% of the time. Even if they had not even planned on ordering ever again, they're going to say, how do I do that? It's human nature, guys. So on the 29th day, hey, Franklin, this is Dale Calvert. According to my records, it's time for you to reorder your tea. How would you like to get $10 off your next purchase? He's going to say, how do I do that? For every name that you give me, I'm responding to Franklin now, guys. For every name that you give me that I can send a brochure to, I'll give you $1 off per name up to 10 names. We have tweaked this terminology over and over and over and over and over. Psychologically, it's the best thing that you can say. And I'm going to say it one more time because he's going to say, well, how do I do that? For every name that you give me that I can send a brochure to, I'll send you $1 off. I'll give you $1 off per name up to 10 names. So in other words, if he gives me 10 referrals, I'm not calling it referrals, but if he gives me 10 referrals, I'll give him $10 off his next purchase. I hope that makes sense. And I had someone that I was coaching on this, and not too long ago, and they said, Dale, it's just not working for me. Nobody will give me any names. So I said, okay, well, do you have any 29-day calls? Well, I've got some I'm supposed to be making at the end of the week. I said, okay, freeway me in. I just want to hear you make them. And they were calling people and they're saying, hey, if you would like to order some more of my weight loss powder, if you would like to order some more, if you will give me some names of people that I can sell the powder to, I'll give you $1 for every name that you give me that I can sell the powder to. And honestly, that's what they were saying. And it's like, and they honestly thought that they were following the script. They were following it. They were saying exactly what they were supposed to say. And it's like, and I'll take just a second, guys, and I'll just give you the thought process behind this. For every name that you give me that I can send a brochure to, okay, what nobody wants people doing is they don't want to refer people and then have a used car salesman on the other phone trying to force a product down their throat. That's what they don't want. You don't want it. I don't want it. Nobody wants it. So it's real easy. For every name that you give me that I can send a brochure to, there's no big fear in me or you sending a brochure to anybody. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope I'm communicating it well enough. I'll give you $1 off per name up to 10 names. Now, when you say it that way, people see if they give you 3 names, they get $3 off. And you just give them a sheet and it's got 1 through 10, name, address, phone number, email for them to fill out. And they can do it through email, they can fax it back and forth, however you want to do it. But it's a referral sheet. And here's the thing. I've been doing this for years. I've been teaching this for years. I've never got one back that didn't have 10 names on it. You know why? Because why give them 3 names and get $3 off when I can give them 10 and get $10 off? So you're going to get 10 referrals. Either people will not do it, which is fine. Everybody doesn't have to do it. Of course they're not all going to do it, but the ones that do will give you 10 names. So I hope you're with me. So now I got 10 names. Well, Dale, what do I do with 10 names? You go right back to launching your business, just like we talked about. You get out your Post-it note and you say, Franklin thought you would have an interest in this product, and you drop it in the mail to that person and you follow up the way you've already learned how to follow up, because through repetition, you've got it in your mind. Okay, it's very simple, guys. Real simple. Repetition is the key to learning. You can do this. So now think about this. You and Franklin's. So I did one day, 14-day, 29-day call, and Franklin says, "Yeah, Dale, I can do that." So you take his order, you get him the form, and he gets the 10 names to you and gets it back to you. And then you can refund his $10 or you can credit his $10. You can send him $10. I'll tell you what, I would pay $1 per lead all day long, all day long. Okay, because again, I'm interested not on my profit next week, but I'm interested in building a business of customers. So we got Franklin's on his next batch of product. He's now gone from a suspect to a prospect, and I've got 10 more people that I can send names to that I can get 3 or 4 or 5 of them started on the product. By following up like we've already discussed. But let's stay with Franklin. Franklin's now on his second batch of product. The only note I need to make now is 59 days. 59. And again, 59 days from the day he started. He's on batch 2. He's a prospect. I call Franklin on 59th day. Hey, Franklin, how you doing? I just wanted to check in with you. According to my records, it's about time for you to reorder the product again. I'm sorry I can't give you any discounts this month, but how would you like to learn how to get it wholesale? Wholesale? I could get it wholesale. How would you like to learn how to get it wholesale? Or you can say, how would you like to learn how to get the product free? How would you like to learn how to get the product free? What does he need to do to get the product free? He only just needs a few customers, right? And he can get the product free. Well, how do I learn how to? Yeah, I'd like to learn how to get the product free. And then the next thing you say, and this is important terminology, what are you doing Thursday night? If you're upline leader or there's a corporate conference call, or your upline leader's doing a webinar conference call on Thursday night, whatever your event that you're building towards, what are you doing Thursday night? You don't say, I want you to get on a conference call with me. I want you to get on a webinar with me. You don't say that. You say, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? And you say, well, I don't think we have anything planned. Say, look, I'm going to give you I'm going to call you at 10 till 7 or 10 till 9, whatever time the event is, and I'm going to three-way you in, and you can listen to one of our corporate calls that will share with you how you can get the product free. If it's a webinar, if it's a meetup, you can say, hey, what are you doing Thursday night? Nothing. Okay, look, it's 7 o'clock. At 8:30 on Thursday night, we're going to have a online meeting, online overview, show you how you can get the product free. You want to get them to an event where they can what? Hear the whole story. So you get that scheduled, and then you want to make a note, 10 minutes before, make sure you send him a text, a reminder, send him an email the morning of, because, in the old days, it used to be getting fannies and chairs at live events. Now it's getting eyes on computer screens or listening in on conference calls. The people that do that to the highest level are the people that are going to build the biggest teams. That's the way it works. It's a law of averages. It's numbers. But how do you systematically do that so you can turn around and help other people systematically do that? 3-day, 14, 29, 59-day call. So that's the basic system, guys. So I'm just going to sit back for a minute. Let's just think about what's going on. You got somebody that tried the product. You gave them awesome customer service. You checked in with them after they've had the product for about 3 days. You check back in with them after they had the product 14 days. They were discouraged, so you encouraged them, and you sent them an email when you got off with some before and after pictures and just some words of encouragement. Then when it was after they've been on the product 29 days, you provided a customer service call and you said, hey, how would you like to receive up to $10 off your next order? And they said, well, how do I do that? And you said, for every name that you give me that I can send a brochure to, I'll give you $1 off per name up to 10. He said, okay, that sounds good. I can do that. You send them a sheet to fill out, a basic referral sheet. They send it, they give it to you, they place their order, you rebate them $10. However you want to work that, no big deal. You don't get bogged down in those kind of details. You got to understand the flow here, guys. So now you've got 10 names. You sent them a brochure with a little post-it note on it, and 4 of those people started on the product. And on the 59th day, you called Franklin. Hey, Franklin, this is Dale Calvert. I just wanted to follow up with you. And I'm sorry I can't give you a discount this month, but how would you like to learn how to get your product free? I can get it free? How can I get it free? Would you like to learn? I'd like to learn. What are you doing Thursday night? Nothing. Okay, Thursday night we're going to have an overview. It'll share with you how you can get your product free and give you some more information about the company. I'm going to send you a link, and I'll send you a reminder. It's going to be Thursday night, 7 o'clock. You can log right on your computer and watch the whole thing. So that's where we're at with Franklin. Okay, so Franklin gets on the webinar. Now, I would send Franklin a text and say, Franklin, as soon as it's over, give me a call. Okay? Now, ultimately, you want 5, 6, 7, 10 Franklins every week. Now, that's not going to happen over tomorrow, but it will happen over time if you stay consistent with it. And really, what I'm hoping is going to happen is when Franklin calls, I'm going to say, Franklin, I'm going to have to call you back. I've got another person I'm talking with right now, and what I want is I want 3 or 4 people calling me when the thing's over. 3 or 4. Let's say you had 10, and you got 3 or 4 calling you. Okay, and some of them you're just going to have to send them a text and say, I can't get back with you tonight. I'll call you tomorrow night. Do you see what that's creating? Are you begging people? Are you trying to convince them to join? No, you got the hottest thing in the world. You got the greatest product line in the world. You got a company that's been around for 12 years. My gosh, you don't have to convince anybody to join. We think we have to convince them, but you don't. You just have to expose. The right people will see it. When we beg, it creates a like, what is wrong with this? Why are they begging me? If this is so good, why are they trying to convince me to join? That's the emotion that we create in this industry, and it just go against that. So Franklin, you got 3 or 4 other people. You can't even follow up with Franklin, and you so the next night you call Franklin, or you call him at noon during lunch the next day while he's at lunch on his job. You say, hey, Franklin, this is Dale. This is Dale. Sorry I couldn't get back with you last night. This thing is, well, I just got so many people fired up. Listen, what questions do I need to answer for you before we get you started? And he's going to have a couple of questions, or he's going to say, well, I just don't think I could do this. Now, stay with me. Stay with me. I'd say, Franklin, you probably can't, but you never know unless you try. And the 10 brochures you told me that I could send in the mail? Yeah, I remember that. I got 4 people that are already on the product. And one of them seems very excited about the business. And they're probably going to make somebody a lot of money. Is that going to be me, or is it going to be you? Fear of loss is the number one motivator to mankind. Fear of loss. How many people would start the business if you already had 4 customers that they could take over and supply in the pipeline? And I just want you to see the flow. And you say, well, Dale, what about this? What if that? What if? This is assuming obviously that you've sold the product and not register them as a member at this point. And again, I'm just trying to give you the flow of what's possible, what can be done when you take a very systematic approach to what you're doing. You know, I if I've got 3 or 4 people already using the product that they referred me, they probably already talked to them. They probably know it. And it's like, did they, you know, one of them is excited and asking a lot of questions about the business. They're probably going to make somebody a lot of money. Is it going to be me or is it going to be you? Fear of loss is the number one motivator to man. So I hope you can get a glimpse of the number of customers you could have, the size of your team. Imagine if everybody that you ever enroll is following this. They're launching their business. They're launching it in the beginning. They're getting it off the ground. They're giving great customer service, great customer follow-up. They're building good customers, and some of these people are going to become team members. Uh, so step 3, launch your business. You know, this is the third step. We've already talked about in previous webinar, announce your business to 50 people as soon as possible. You know, I talked about do this 10 a week for 5 weeks. You know, 10 a week for 5 weeks. Get the emotions out of it. You're just planting seeds. Uncle Harry might not have an interest in your products, but you know what? He knows somebody who does. The people that you know are probably not the people you're looking for, but they know the people you're looking for. That's who you really want. It's not about convincing. You can always go back to people when you don't beg in the beginning. You know, somehow in the network marketing industry in the last 15 years, if we say NFL, I'm in the NFL club, people know what that means. That's sad. No friends left. Why would you be in the no friends left? But because you begged, because you twisted arms, because you tried to convince. Amateurs try to convince. Professionals sort. The name of the game is sorting through people. Don't worry about them saying no to you. Worry about them saying yes to somebody else, because they will. Success comes from duplication, not innovation. What will happen to the growth of your team and the income if everyone plays it forward and follows these 3 steps in the beginning? This is just the first 3 steps. But we haven't even talked about the recruiting system and other things, guys. But if you get this down and you understand that when this happens, you say, would you like fries with that? And you get it very systematic and very systematic. Systems can be duplicated. Boom, boom, boom. Because we all have the ability to, through repetition, learn anything, just like we do commercials, words of songs, and a lot of other useless facts that aren't going to move us forward in our life and do anything of value for us. And systems can be duplicated by the 27 percenters, as we've already talked about. That's the name of the game. If you can help the average people with above average desire move forward, get results, you'll build an empire. You'll be a superstar. The mistake we make is we try to take ducks and send them to eagle school. They don't want to be an eagle. They want to watch Roseanne on TV. They don't want to make an effort. They would rather blame. You know, they're going to go out with their thumb in their mouth, trying to talk to a few people, mealy mouth, no confidence in what they're doing. And again, we all have to go through the confidence thing. But I'm saying in general, they have no conviction, no belief. They don't have the 4 beliefs: company, product, the industry, and themselves. They try to convince people, and it doesn't work, and they think something's wrong with TLC or something's wrong with the business model. It's not true. It's not true. I'm going to take a drink of water, guys. Hold on, just one thing. Listen, I warned you in the first webinar that this information could be very overwhelming. But I hope that I've proven to you guys that with repetition, you can learn it and you can implement it. And this is just a comment we pulled off one of our websites. It helped me understand a little bit better why sometimes people just, they just determined to. A wise person learns from their own mistakes, but a really wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And Catherine, she said, you just helped me see some of my resistance in spending the necessary time in my business has been. I have a very strong, innovative drive. If you can channel that in other areas of your life, and see, I know many of you, we got a great crowd tonight. Some of you are very innovative. You want to tweak and change and mess around and improve everything. And I get that. I understand that. Uh, I don't have it personally, but I know a lot of people do. So she's talking about she has an innovative drive. And if I can just treat MOM like something I know how to do and just do it instead of constantly trying to find a new way to do it better, maybe I'll have a breakthrough. She will have a breakthrough. She absolutely, positively will have a breakthrough. Seen it happen multiple times. Duplication, not innovation. Brilliant. Just what I needed to hear. Thank you. Uh, so I put that there tonight because some of you might need it to hear that, and I understand that. I respect that. And be as creative and as you need to be and innovative in every single area of your life. That's a good thing. But in network marketing, it's about building teams. And teams have to be built around systems. Some of you probably watched the Prophet on TV, Marcus, the billionaire guy. And what does he preach? Product, people, and systems. Product, people, and systems. Truth is truth. Truth is truth. So I would ask you guys tonight, do you want to fail or do you want to succeed? And I'm asking you to make a commitment to yourself and to your reasons for doing the TLC business to really get plugged into what's going on. Get plugged into this philosophy of developing customers, not just sales. How do I do it, Dale? Where do I start? How do you eat an elephant? You eat it one bite at a time. One bite at a time. Repetition's the mother to learning. Master the launch, how to launch a business. Help people launch their business. Master it. Master the retail to recruit foundational system. There's only about 4 systems, guys. There's and I've talked about in the past Vince Lombardi, coach of the Green Bay Packers. They won the Super Bowl the previous year. The next year he brings them into practice. He holds up a football and he said, "Gentlemen, this is a football. These guys just won the Super Bowl, and he's starting right at the basics. This is a football." And the Green Bay Packers only ran a few plays, but they ran them better than anybody in the world. Nobody could stop them. They all knew what they were going to do, and they did it anyway because they were so good. They mastered, up the middle right, up the middle left, sweep right, sweep left, and a few other plays, and they mastered it. And everybody did their job, and they created an unbelievable team. That's how you build unbelievable, awesome duplicating teams in business and network marketing. So launch your business, learn the systems well enough to teach it, and most important, take action. What's going to determine your action? Your reasons. Your reasons. Step 1, till you know why the how doesn't matter. You've got a system now that we'll continue to tweak even further down for you guys, but a system that will duplicate, build real customers, and committed team leaders. Committed team leaders that love the product, love the products of TLC. They love them, and Dynamite's not going to get them out of the program. So I'm asking you guys to commit to yourself, to your reasons that you're doing TLC. I got a couple of more things we're going to run off. We're going to get off tonight. But I just want to encourage you, never stop learning. Turn your car into a classroom. When people get started, the basics, I love them to read the book, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. It's not overly popular, but man, it'll speak to people. helping them to understand what we talk about comes about. We speak our world into existence, getting control of the internal conversation and start getting on our own team and giving ourselves the encouragement that we need to help ourselves believe in ourselves. I was thrilled. I'm going to talk about the CD that you see here in the middle, Build Your Network Marketing Business. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. And then some of you I know we do have a CD training program. But here's what I want you to understand. The right skills and attitudes, and when you combine that with the right opportunity, TLC, right products, right opportunity, awesome products, great products, and you have the right skill sets and the right attitudes, the opportunity for wealth creation and living a life that has a positive impact on other people is right in front of you. And I don't care what your background is, what your experience is, what you don't have experience in, none of that matters. Because formal education makes you a living. If you become self-educated, you can create a fortune. And that's from this gentleman right here, Jim Rohn. I'm talking about the TLC kit. I got the opportunity to go through your all's new business kit this week. Excited about the information in there. I do want to talk about this one audio. I got chills when I saw this because I have recommended this audio thousands of times, thousands and thousands of times. Jim Rohn used to have, I'll just tell you the backstory on this a little bit. I'm so glad it's in the kit. When you get your kit, memorize this audio. Don't listen to it. It's very enjoyable, but memorize it. Memorize it well enough to teach it. Jim Rohn used to have an audio program called Take Charge of Your Life. It's probably still out there. 6 audios from Nightingale Conant, cost $60. I remember buying it at a time when I tell you what, I didn't have $60. And I listened to those cassettes. It was on cassette tape at the time, over and over and over and over and over and over, memorized them on my little Walkman cassette player while I was working my full-time job. And one day, I listened to them over and over and over. And one day I got a flyer in the mail where Jim Rohn was going to be in Ohio live at a live event. And I couldn't believe it. It was like, my gracious, he's within driving distance, so I'm going to go meet him. And we had a team. I don't know how big our team was, but we piled up in 6 or 7 cars, and we all went to I think it was Dayton, Ohio, or Columbus, Ohio, and walked in this big auditorium for this Jim Rohn seminar. And I just couldn't believe it. And during the seminar, he gave a talk called 3 Basic Laws that I had heard in the 6 audio programs hundreds of times. And he talks about, it was 3 basic laws, and when you're recruiting, you just got to keep sowing the seeds, and the birds are going to get some, and the heat's going to destroy some. But eventually, if you keep sowing the seeds, eventually the seed takes root and it multiplies 1,000-fold. And I'd heard this a lot of times, but that day it hit me. I got it. I finally understood the law of averages. And honestly, after that event, everything changed for me because I understood all I have to do is let enough people hear the entire story and it's going to work for me. And that's why I don't need to focus on trying to get them to buy or join. I just want them to hear the whole story. And the right ones, they're going to hear it. And I don't have to worry about the rest of everybody else. It's a numbers game. I walked out of there knowing the law of average will even work for some kid from small town Kentucky, that it would work for me too. And it changed my business. That event in Dayton, Ohio, it totally changed. It made a drastic impact for me. One of the most important things that ever happened to me when I got started in this industry was attending that event. Now, now here I tell you that to tell you this. Years later, we were having an event. We were going to have over 5,000 people, and we hired Jim Rohn to come and speak at that event. And I said, look, you have to. I don't care what you talk about, but you have to share the three basic laws story because it changed my life, changed my business. And you can talk about whatever you want to. We're hiring you for 3 hours, but you have to tell that story. And it was like a day or two before the event, and uh, a guy that worked with me came in. He said, "Look, I was just talking to Jim Rohn's manager, and he's doing this whole new training system program, and he doesn't want to do the three basic laws. He wants to do this new stuff." And I said, "Look, tell him no. Tell him he can do whatever he wants to do, but he has to do three basic laws." And so he came, and some of you may have seen the video and the intros. It's parts of it's been on YouTube over the years, but he came and he pulled out his journal and he did the three basic laws right from his journal, and it was awesome. And then about, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago, they come out with Building Your Network Marketing Business, a CD. And it basically what this CD is the three basic laws that made all, and the fact that it's in your all's kit. I didn't mean to tell you that long a story, guys, but I want to tell you, I'm fired up about, if you ask me, Dale, if there's only one thing, one training any network marketer could ever have in their life, if you could only give them one training on one CD, what would it be? I would say this right here. I got carried away. Sorry. There's also a CD in there called Making the Shift. Really, really good. Awesome information. A lot of information about understanding that your desire has to be bigger than your fear. Pay close attention when you get that. It's really, really good. Really good. And understand, truth is truth, guys. See, there ain't no foo-foo dust. There's no foo-foo dust. You aren't going to wake up one morning and all of a sudden have all the great skills and everything. It's this business is not about winning the lottery. It's not about scratching a winning lottery ticket. It's about you understanding you can do it. You can do it. You can get it. You can understand it. You can have the skill sets. You can develop every skill set, every mindset you need to do it. I don't care where you're listening to me in the world. You can do it. Is it easy? No. No, it's not easy. Is it emotional? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Without question. Without question. There's no business model in the world where the average person with above average desire can develop time and the income to enjoy it like the network marketing business model, period. TLC, 12 years in the making, worldwide, awesome leadership in the field, committed corporate leadership, been through some growing pains, been through some ups and downs, stood the test of time. They aren't going anywhere. So what are you going to do? Give you another really quick training in 3 minutes and we're done. You're going to find this magazine in your kit. You can also order them. I looked this up. 10-pack is $42.50. I want to share with you, and again, this is not foo-foo dust, guys. Here's what recruiting is. Finding the right person at the right time in their life. There's no magic recruiting tool. We talk about a lot of tools. Why do we talk about a lot of tools? Because it's just about finding the right person at the right time in their life. They might find a drop card when they're filling up gas at the gas station, and their company just laid off 25 more people today. The timing is right. Their window is open. That's all recruiting is. That's it. It's about finding the right people at the right time in their life. The more things you are doing, the more leads you're generating, the more likely you are to find the right person at the right time in their life. You find good people, three good people a year. In 3 years, you're a superstar. You do that by finding 3 to 5 a month. Anybody can get to a point where they're recruiting 3 to 5 a month if you have enough tools in the market. I love this tool, okay, but the tool itself is not the foo-foo dust. It's the consistency of getting the tools in the marketplace to bring you people whose window is open. So let me talk about this Momentum magazine. Every time I went on an airplane, if I were you, I would make sure that, I had the little pocket in the seat back. I would make sure that I left one of these magazines in that seat back every time. Because a lot of times when people get on an airplane, the first thing they do is look in there to see if there's anything interesting to read and make sure it has your name and address and contact information stamped on the back. But I would leave it there. We did a recruiting magazine years ago, and if you have a little bit of nerve, don't think you have to do this to build your business, but if you have a little bit of nerve, get a handful of about 30 of these, and when you're flying back home, I don't do this I never did this when I was going out, when I was flying out, but when I was flying in back home from wherever I had been, and I was flying into, at the time, it was Lexington, Kentucky. So I knew a lot of people flying into Lexington. You don't go through Lexington, Kentucky to get anywhere else. You're going somewhere in Kentucky normally. And some people come to Lexington for horse business or different businesses, but the majority of people that are flying into Lexington live in central Kentucky somewhere. So I like building in the backyard and make it as strong as possible. So I would wait. Let's say I was flying from Las Vegas to back to Lexington, and I would wait until they said, "This is the final boarding call for Lexington, Kentucky. Final boarding call." Then I would want to be the last one on. I would want most people to already be seated, and then I would reach down into my briefcase and I would pull out 40 or 50 of these magazines. And I would start at the beginning of the aisle in first class, and I would walk towards the back of the plane, and I would hold up the magazines, and I would say, reading material, reading material. Would you like some reading material? And I would hand these magazines out to anybody that said, yeah, I'll take one. I'll take just. And some of you have seen stewardess do this on airplanes. So again, I would go do that in an airplane. Okay. Again, you don't have to be that nervy to do the business. I did it to make myself get out of my personal comfort zone because that was not in my comfort zone. Some of you would have a blast with this. It's not, I don't, but I just want to share that with you. This is what I can share with you that all of you should be doing with this magazine. I call it Create a Local Route. And I'll talk to you more about this in the future, but here's the concept of the route as it relates to magazines. This is how my daughters earned their allowance after they were able to drive. Okay, I talked about outsourcing. Okay, I did it. I did this before myself, before my daughters were old enough to drive. I did a lot of things when I was grinding, so I could get to a point where I didn't have to grind anymore. But ask yourself this question: where do you wait? Where do you wait? Tire stores, oil change facilities, physician's office, chiropractors, dentists, doctors, laundromats, beauty and barber shops, nail salons. When I go to get my oil change, at instant oil change or whatever, I go in a little room, I sit down, and what's the first thing I'm looking for is something to read. And you see all the magazines and out there. Okay, I would get these magazines in these different locations, just put them out on the table and leave them. Any place where people are waiting. I cannot tell you how many people that we've added to our teams over the years when we were building with magazines, because they were at the dentist's office, they found the magazine, had all these success stories, they looked very interesting, it looked very interesting, and they called the person whose name was on the back. They will work. Are they foo-foo dust? No. But will every now and then you find the right person at the right time in their life from a magazine? Absolutely. That's the best way to use them as far as I know. Airplanes, waiting rooms. Uh, the main thing I wanted to communicate to you guys, the main thing is think in terms of building customers, not just selling product. You have to sell product in order to develop customers, but think in the terms of customers. We're going to share with you an unlimited way to generate leads for your business. Unlimited numbers. That's the easy part. The easy part. Now, if you can generate unlimited leads and you take those people and you work them through a well thought out customer acquisition program, you give great customer service on the front end, uh, you back some of them into the business on the back end, and you do that consistently over a period of time. If you didn't learn anything else, honestly, you could build an empire just getting real good with these two plays. These two plays. You learn it, you get it, you do it. You just doing that, because the name of the game again is just sorting through people and giving really good customer follow up, building a customer mentality. Okay, we're going to talk about a lot of other things: drop cards, magic cards, trade shows, creating leads online, funded proposals. There's multiple ways to generate leads, but it's really useless if you're doing it without building a customer base mentality. The only reason to prospect in the cold market, in my opinion, is to get into the warm market of those that you recruit. That's where the game's won. It's what everybody's trying to avoid. But that's really where you win the game. That's where you win the game, because it's the easiest way to launch a business. It's the easiest way. Yes, I believe in social media. Absolutely. It's taken over. The internet is social media, and I believe in it. And I believe in every lead generation method you can think of. And I'm behind it 100%. But I believe that network marketing is a little bit different business model. I believe we have to get some success, help people create success as soon as possible. And I believe the way to do that is by getting their business launched very sequentially and systematically. That's all I need to share with you guys tonight. This is New Orleans week. Can't wait to meet some of you, a lot of you. I hope most of you are going to be there tonight. I'm sure most of you on this webinar tonight will be there tonight. Look forward to it this weekend. Look forward to shaking your hand, meeting you. I know all the staff, all the field leaders, everybody is excited about this event. I think it's going to be phenomenal. I hope you're going to be there. Uh, There's going to be a lot of good stuff going on, and it's going to be 2016 for TLC, and for you can be an awesome year. Awesome, life changing. I believe that. I know it, and I know it's in your hands. Some of you may still be on the fence about this event. If you are, get off the fence. Get off the fence. What if this is your event and you don't attend? What if this is your event and you don't attend? First time I went to New Orleans was for an event that was life altering. Not every event I've been to has been life altering, but there's been 2 or 3 that made all the difference. 2 or 3 that made all the difference. And we climbed into a van that we prayed was going to make it to from Kentucky to New Orleans. We drove straight through. We had coolers with peanut butter and crackers and bologna. We piled into a room, and it was life altering. If I hadn't made the effort, I wouldn't have had the experience. Probably wouldn't have had the opportunity to speak with you guys tonight. I don't know how else to say it. I just don't know how else to say it. So I'm expecting you to be there. I look forward to meeting you. I know the home office staff looks forward to meeting you. The field leaders look forward to meeting you, and it's going to be an awesome time. And I look forward to seeing you this weekend, and we'll be back on a webinar in the very near future. With this, hopefully we got this recorded. It'll be online for you as soon as we can get it up there, probably within 24 hours. Normally we'll have it up. So thank you guys. Have an awesome, safe travel to New Orleans, and we'll see you down there. Good night.